G'day guys, Rukshan here. Thanks for joining me for yet another news vlog. As you can tell, our main man, Donald J. Trump, has once again won a primary in the Republican race for the nomination for the presidency, this time in New Hampshire, absolutely smashing little Nikki Haley, as he likes to call her. And look, I think he's got about a 10-point lead at the moment with 93% of the vote counted, as well as this is the most votes any Republican nominee for the presidency has ever received in New Hampshire, as well as, I think since about the 1970s, this is the first time a Republican nominee has, since that time, has won the first two primaries in a row. So Donald Trump is absolutely crushing it, breaking records left, right, and center, but Nikki Haley will not give up. She is poised to take Donald Trump on in South Carolina. Nevada primaries, that's a foregone conclusion towards Trump just because of the way that the whole thing is structured. But South Carolina, where Nikki Haley was the former governor, she will be contesting against Trump, it seems, from the messaging that she's putting out at the moment. Many people are telling her to drop out, but Nikki is persisting because she's saying that she's taking the fight to Trump. The interesting thing about Nikki Haley is whenever she loses, even when she comes third, she acts like she's won something. It's very interesting to see. And Vivek Ramaswamy has brought up the point that it looks like Nikki Haley, for all intents and purposes, is the establishment candidate from the GOP. She's in there hoping that something happens to Donald Trump with his legal troubles or some sort of misfortune befalls him because of those issues, and then she just sweeps in there and runs as the presidential nominee against Joe Biden come the election. This was a really interesting primary. It's like an open primary state, so you have these independents voting in it. There was a lot of Democrats who had voted for Nikki Haley just to defeat Donald Trump, but they would never vote for her come the general election. But again, Trump has overcome and he has smashed it in this particular primary. Interestingly, also, Ronna McDonald, the RNC chairwoman, chair, I've got to be neutral here with the language these days, I think, has encouraged Nikki Haley to drop out. So that kind of puts a bit of water on this thing about her being the establishment candidate when you have the RNC themselves now telling her to drop out. Let's have a listen to what Ronna McDonald has to say.
Looking at the math and the path going forward, and I don't see it for Nikki Haley. I think she's run a great campaign, but I do think there is a message that's coming out from the voters, which is very clear. We need to unite around our eventual nominee, which is going to be Donald Trump, and we need to make sure we beat Joe Biden. It is 10 months away till the November election, and we can't wait any longer to put our foot on the gas, to beat the worst president, to beat a president that's kept our borders open, allowed fentanyl to pour through.
You get the idea. But yeah, Ronna McDonald isn't the biggest Trump fan in the world. In fact, she gets criticized a lot. To see her swing around this way, it looks like the jig is up for Nikki Haley, but she may persist. Now, Donald J. Trump also had a message for Nikki Haley. Let's hear what he had to say to her.
These are very dishonest people, and you're always fighting them. And just a little note to Nikki, she's not going to win. She's not going to win. But if she did, she would be under investigation by those people in 15 minutes. And I could tell you 5 reasons why already. Not big reasons, a little stuff that she doesn't want to talk about, but she will be under investigation within minutes. And so would Ron have been, but he decided to get out. He decided to get out. Now, Vivek, I don't think would be at all because he's perfect, right? And Tim Scott.
It's hilarious. That's Vivek Ramaswamy, who is now on the campaign trail with Trump. Perhaps a VP pick. Trump is saying that Vivek is squeaky clean as opposed to Nikki, who would have all types of investigations opened up against her. Can you imagine Trump as a president in the future, or even just in the coming up election? They have smeared him so much. They have said so many things about him. They have taken him to court over so many different things. There is literally nothing you can say or do about the guy as something to discredit him with anymore, because they've done everything. He is almost, you can't touch him. He's almost untouchable, in my opinion. Now, to the next story. Jeffrey Epstein's brother doesn't believe he died by suicide and wants a new investigation. So this is Mark Epstein. Let's see what he says. The night before Jeffrey Epstein flew from Paris back to New York in July 2019, he called his younger brother Mark, The pair had been in contact only occasionally since their mother died 15 years earlier, and it was the last time they ever spoke. Mark Epstein says his brother had no inkling he was going to be arrested as he stepped off his jet at Teterboro in New Jersey. He believed he had been granted immunity from federal prosecution under a 2007 plea deal reached with the then U.S. Attorney Alex Acosta when he pleaded guilty to state charges of soliciting a minor. Barely a month later, Jeffrey Epstein was found dead in a Manhattan jail cell. He had killed himself despite being under psychological observation at the time after a suicide attempt. So yeah, Mark Epstein, Jeffrey Epstein's brother, doesn't believe he committed suicide and he wants a re-investigation opened up. Again, we have to ask ourselves, whatever happened to those Epstein files and documents they were dropping during that time, like 2 weeks ago, right? We were talking about that. Nothing's come of that. Like we said, during that time, it was a massive distraction. Those lists were already kind of public knowledge. It was already known. It was just a confirmation of court documents, and it was just complete nonsense. And this thing continues on. But now we have a family member saying that they want to reopen the investigation. What do you think? Should the Jeffrey Epstein death be looked into again? Is that something potentially that a Trump presidency could achieve by making the FBI disclose some more of the information around that? Or is Trump also compromised, as some people say? Let me know your thoughts. Now, another story that I covered today earlier in a video that I made in long form was around what's happening in Canada with this federal court coming hard against the Trudeau regime for their unconstitutional abuse of the emergency powers against the convoy truckers and protesters. So I'm not going to go into that too much. If you did miss that, it's the previous video to this on my YouTube and my other socials. I go into about a 15-minute video explaining that court case and why the judge came to the conclusion that Justin Trudeau, his regime, dictator Trudeau, had erroneously used the emergency powers illegally, even, you could say. I'll just read this quick title to give you an understanding. Court rules Liberals' use of emergency acts is unjustified, unreasonable. Prime Minister Justin Trudeau invoked the act in the wake of the trucker convoy in downtown Ottawa in February 2022. The Liberal government's decision to invoke the Emergency Act in response to the 2022 Freedom Convoy protest was unreasonable, unjustified, and violated the charter the federal court has ruled. There you go, guys. Check out that video and you get a lot more information about that. Now it's some Aussie news, and this is around Qantas. Yes, we're talking about Qantas again. I just saw their woke in-flight safety video that goes for 10 minutes. I can't believe the crap that I was watching. I don't know if you've seen it. Obviously, I'm not going to play the whole 9 minutes, but I'm going to play you snippets of it and just give you, I don't know what this is. When I used to fly a long time ago, the safety video was very bland, but it gave you the, enough information about what to do in the chance that the aircraft might have an issue. These days, especially when you have wheels falling off planes and doors flying out, it becomes very important to know these things, right? And in this instance, with these new videos that I'm seeing, it's not just Qantas, other airlines are doing it as well. I believe Air New Zealand has something similar. It's all these kind of woke stories that they have, and they don't even use the plane anymore, right? It's just crazy. Let's just watch this video and get an idea of what I'm talking about.
Hi, I'm Louise from Qantas in Darwin, and I'm a proud Waggadagum and Mudbara woman. Welcome to my magic place, Litchfield National Park. We all have a place that fills our heart and makes us feel safe. Give us your attention for the next few minutes and we'll keep you safe on this flight as we journey to the magic places of regular Aussies all around Australia and the world. Welcome to Qantas.
Welcome to Qantas. All right, we set the scene there. Of course, it's going to start in that fashion, but this is their new in-flight safety video. Now I'm going to fast forward a little bit and give you how they give you instructions. So first up, we have a guy driving a car.
Hi, my name is Nestor from Qantas First Class Lounge in Sydney. Welcome to Hollywood. Fasten your seatbelt by inserting the clasp into the buckle and tighten by pulling the strap. You can undo your seatbelt by pressing the button.
Okay, that one we can almost give it a pass. It's kind of on topic because they're on a car seat, plane seat, kind of similar. Let's go to the beach now.
By pulling the tab, put it over your head, pass the strap around your waist, grip at the front, then tighten. There's a red tag and mouthpiece for inflation, and a whistle and light. And remember, only inflate your life jacket after you leave the aircraft.
Okay. Yes, on some epic island they're doing this. All right, there's more. Let me just do one more. Sorry. Okay, this is the best one. Is this some sort of cultural appropriation?
Jaipur is called the Pink City. My birthplace absolutely captures the essence of India's very rich history. And this is what makes it a magical place. In the unlikely event of an emergency, you should be familiar with the brace position appropriate to your seat. If you can reach the seat in front, brace by placing your forehead on the back of the seat. Hold your lower legs, or put your hands on your knees. If you can't reach the seat in front, lean as far forward as you can and hold on to your lower legs.
What the hell's going on? It's like the ultimate woke Olympics or something. They've gone for broke. They've got the Indian dancers in India doing some sort of Bharatanatyam traditional dance. They've got chairs lined up around a fountain. And this is how they're demonstrating to you what to do to take the brace position in case of a door falls out or something happens during a Qantas flight. Who knows, with the DEI standards these days and all the ESG scores that they have to achieve, who knows the type of safety standards they will be having in the future. But look, what on earth is going on? This is next level woke. I mean, I'm going to stop playing the audio, but oh, I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say about this crap. Like, what is this? You tell me what you think about this. Does this make you feel safer when you fly? Do you like this new concept? And this goes on for about 9 minutes, right, of all this nonsense. I'm going to keep going on, moving on. WokeWorths is back in the news. That's right, WokeWorths, the CEO, is doing the media circuit. They've taken out a 2-page ad in the newspapers, just talking to the Australian consumer about how they don't hate Australia and how their focus now is on Australian produce and just making sure people have the best produce and food and groceries they can buy on Australia Day, right? And they're kind of backtracking a little bit from the negativity around it, because there has been a massive backlash to Woolworths, and you can see that by the fact that there's also been an internal email that Brad, a message from Brad, has sent around to his team, a couple of pages that goes over the entire thing. Of course, they're having a sook about the fact that staff members are being spoken to negatively by customers. I don't condone that. That shouldn't be happening. Of course, people are free to raise their grievances with their local grocer if they want to. If that was been Woolworths for a long time, they can say they're unhappy about the fact that they now are displaying hate towards Australia. But yeah, this goes on to explain we aren't trying to cancel Australia Day. In terms of merchandising, we don't want to, what are they, right? Rather than stocking those imported products, this is around the products that they stock for Australia Day. Woolworths Supermarkets is focusing on continuing to celebrate the best of Australia fresh food for Australia Day long weekend gatherings with family and friends. So they're saying the flip-flops and the Aussie Day merchandise is imported products. Well, on 2GB radio, Ben Fordham asked the CEO a really good question. Well, what about the imported products that you guys get for Halloween and these other things that you're having, right? What about those products? And this guy was a little bit stumped. So apparently they're going to be re-evaluating that as well. I will be shocked to see if Woolworths stops stocking like Easter for things for Easter or things for Halloween and other holidays because of this issue, and they just stick to groceries and food, all these kind of things, right? I will be completely shocked. On that note as well, Steve Smith, the former cricket captain involved in that cheating scandal as well, and he's got his own issues, got off for a duck and the last time he batted. He's also come out in support of Pat Cummins wanting to change Australia Day. These guys never give up. Now, the last story I have is around the Israel-Gaza conflict, Hamas, Palestine, however you want to term it. There has been a ceasefire proposal put forward by Israel, and they've offered a 2-month pause and for the release of hostages in that time frame, a staggered release and a prisoner swap during that time. Now, it's being reported that Hamas has rejected that proposal for a ceasefire. We know one of the key components of a lot of the protests that we see around the world is asking for a ceasefire now, but this particular proposal for a ceasefire and the release of hostages and exchange of prisoners has been rejected by Hamas. But if you look at the other side of reporting on this issue, and this is why I bring the story up, they will say how Israel has repeatedly rejected Hamas's truce offers. So it's being reported in the opposite way, that Israel is refusing Hamas's conditions for a truce. Again, we see no end in sight for what's going on there, but clearly there is more talk now around ceasefires and truces. I feel like it's just about how that is structured and, you know, what side gains what, and, you know, what side doesn't benefit from that particular deal that they're negotiating. Let's see what happens there. The last couple of stories that I want to do is just the headlines, because I read these headlines while I was doing research and I'm like, I have to share these with you guys. So the first headline is, Darwin man accidentally exposes himself at Hungry Jack's drive-thru after super Viagra orgy backfires dramatically. I'm not going to read this story. I'll just show you a photo of him first. But you can go look this up yourself. And the next story that I wanted to read the headline from was, California woman who fatally stabbed boyfriend 108 times receives probation and community service. Two headlines, our crazy world. I hope you guys have enjoyed my news vlog today. Apologies for it going for a bit longer. It is the primary day, so I have to discuss a little bit more about the primaries than I would normally do. If you're enjoying my news content, guys, you can follow along at The Real Rukshan. Follow me on YouTube. You can hit the notification bell if you want to get updates. You can also follow me on X, Facebook, Rumble, Instagram, Odyssey, all those platforms at The Real Rukshan. Or you can even visit my website, www.realrukshan.com. See you guys next time.